Good afternoon, my impatients. It is I, Andrew the Android Koloski here. I am live and I'm ready to perform for all of you. So, on X, formerly Twitter, I was going wild with this program known as Grok. I'm not sure if, they have the copyright for the images or not, but I asked it to generate certain images for me. And I'm going to share it for you because I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was a pretty cool thing. So I'm going to share with you the generated images that came out. So first, I asked Grok to put me in an expensive suit. And that's precisely what it did. It put me in an expensive suit. Look, I look like I'm some billionaire, basically, right? I look like I'm a billionaire. I'm outside the Levittown Public Library. I probably should have asked it to put me, given some conference, but the next one, I asked it to put me in a padded room in a straitjacket. And this is what it came up with. Pizza Pasta says, I like the one of you in a padded room. It's very realistic. Yeah, so that's me in a padded room, which I think is pretty cool too. The next one, I asked it to give me a sexy Asian girlfriend in her 20s and a redheaded Irish girlfriend in her 20s in skimpy bikinis on the beach in our bathing suits. And this is what it came up with. This is me with a sexy Asian and redheaded girlfriend. They're in bikinis. I'm in my bathing suit, and we're on the beach together. I think this is a cool one. The next one, I asked, could you make me like Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys? Andrew as Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, Smile era, 1967, in the fire hat. And this is me, obviously looking like Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. Then I asked it, could it make me look like a grunge rocker from the 1990s? Andrew Wilson. This is Andrew Wilson. And the next one is me looking like a grunge rocker delivering an acoustic concert. So that's me looking like a grunge rocker from the 1990s. And the next one, I asked, can you make me look like Syd Barrett around 1968 in his apartment wearing eyeliner, looking psychedelic? So this one is me looking like Syd Barrett of Pink Floyd in his apartment on his knees, looking psychedelic. So this is Andrew Syd Barrett. The next one, I asked, could you make me with Hall and Nash, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash from WCW, The Outsiders, NWO, Wolfpack? And this is what it came up with. That doesn't really look like Scott Hall and Kevin Nash too much, but this is the image it came up with. And lastly, I asked for it to make me catch Owen Hart at Over the Edge 1999, catch him from falling and saving his life. And this is what it came up with. This is me catching Owen Hart and saving his life. It doesn't really look like Owen Hart, and it doesn't really look like me. But these are the ones I came up with. What do you guys think? Do you think those are cool groks? I think they were pretty cool. Yeah. Somebody says, pretty cool, bro. Pretty cool. Thank you. Yeah, I had fun with it today. Somebody says, you should do some Sora cameos. What's Sora? Jordell? What is Sora? I'm unfamiliar with what that is. I'm new to this AI stuff. But those are pretty cool things that I did today. It was a lot of fun. He says it's really cool. Check it out. Okay, I'll check it out. I'll check it out for you guys. Yeah, a lot of people seem like they use Grok to put women in bikinis, and do scandalous things with ladies. It seems like a lot of people like to do that kind of stuff. But I use it to make me look like Syd Barrett and Brian Wilson in a grunge rocker. All right. So how is your guys' weekends going? Happy Sunday to all of you. Oh, somebody says I heard it got in trouble for doing some photos of people underage. Yeah, unfortunately, you got to watch out for that. You got to catch that. You don't want that to take place. But yeah, there's going to always be nefarious people out there who are going to make requests like that. So you got to implement some sort of restrictions for that, obviously. You got to always watch out for that. Yeah. I mean, I'm doing it to look like Syd Barrett. I'm just doing it for the goof, but there are people that will do it for nefarious reasons, obviously. Dave says, make an intergender wrestling. No, Dave. No, Dave. The Oracle asks, do you have? I mean, first of all, I don't want to talk about it, but he asks, do you have any actual proof anyone in your family cared about the intergender wrestling? I guess it could be delusional. Let's change the topic. This is all we talk about. Let's have fun today. The Oracle. Let's have fun today. I'm caffeinated. I'm in a good mood. I'm not in the mood to fight with my family or think they betrayed me. Maybe it's all my imagination. What should I somebody asks, how am I doing with my love life? Well, I'm single. Obviously, I got art class friends that may potentially turn into girlfriends. It remains to be seen. Maybe they'll remain just friends with me, but it seems like there's potential there, and that's a good thing, guys. That's a good thing. Somebody asks, are we? All right. So what should I request Grok dress me up as? La 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 la. Dave, I'm gonna get rid of you here if you don't behave. I'm gonna drop the axe on you. I'm gonna drop the guillotine on you, Dave, if you don't behave. Off with your head. Somebody says, Mr. Bean. Oh, that's a good one. Let's have Grok dress me up as Mr. Bean. Okay. Let's request this here. Dear Grok, here's what I'm gonna say to it. I'm gonna say, while remaining Andrew Koloski, please make me look like Mr. Bean. Okay. Okay, let's see what it comes up with here. Pizza Pasta says, don't tell Grok to put Mr. Bean in the Holocaust. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. It takes a few moments for it to generate an image. It takes a few moments. All right. Well, Remy, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see me looking like Mr. Bean. Bang. Bang. This is pretty good, by the way. It's strawberry sunrise, strawberry kiwi pineapple flavor. Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh yeah. Hello, my dear friends. La 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 la. Somebody says, I tried mojito, and I tried something like Bellini Bliss or something like that. I'm trying like the really fruity flavors. But, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, let's see if it came up with the Mr. Bean image yet. Not yet. La 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 la. So I'm having meatloaf for dinner. What are you guys having for dinner? I know that's real riveting content. What are you eating for dinner? I'm having some meatloaf. Pizza Pasta says he's not sure what he's having for dinner. He just got back from having sushi and steak. Oh, that sounds delicious. Dave says, tell artificial intelligence to make you a femboy next, buddy. Why do you want me to look like a femboy, Dave? Why do you want me to look like a femboy? So he says, tell it to put you in a maid outfit with kitty ears. No, thank you. No, thank you. And you could if you want, but no, thank you. So he says, why not? I mean, I guess I could. But I don't know. I mean, it takes a while to generate. I'd have to do it for the next stream. Might be fun to check me out as a lady, I guess. Somebody says, make it turn me into a sassy girl. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I can have it turn me into a sassy girl. Living in the sunlight, laughing in the moonlight, having a wonderful time. La 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 la. All right. So I had a nitro cold brew. All right, I'm getting rid of Dave. Enough of Dave. Bye. Yeah. This really isn't the best. The best one of me is Mr. Bean, but here we go. This is what it came up with when I suggested it turn me into Mr. Bean. It came up with this. I don't think it's the greatest, but you know, I don't know. So it says it did all right. Bane, bang. It did good enough. La 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 la. Living in the sunlight, laughing in the moonlight. And Dave is back. And Dave is back. These people can't go away for long. I ban them and they come back. I ban them and they come back. Living in the sunlight, laughing in the moonlight, having a wonderful time. So he says, "You're just that good." Jordan says, "Did you miss me, Andrew?" Green asks, "What inspired the mugging stabbing song?" I don't know. I guess I'll leave it open to interpretation. I'll leave it open to interpretation. I'll let you be the judge. You know, I mean, I'm kind of like one of these artists that let if the song speaks to you in your own way. He says, "Will you do some Mr. Bean sketches?" Yeah, I guess so. I guess I guess I could try to do some Mr. Bean sketches. Green says, "The song was so real that now I have PTSD from it." You know, Erie asks, "Do I feel like I'm being mugged metaphorically?" That's a very interesting question. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the song is literal. I mean, maybe it's based on like these crime TV shows. I don't know. You be the judge of what it means. You be the judge. So he says, mugged, stabbed, and betrayed by your parents? No, I don't think so. I think it has to do with going into a back alley, um, and in the hood at midnight and getting attacked by a Caucasian man in a ski mask. And begging for my life and getting robbed. Hopefully that never happens to me. You know, when I'm walking around early in the morning, that'd be a nightmare. I don't want somebody to come up to me at like 3 a.m. when I'm walking around the neighborhood, put a knife to my neck and stab me and I'm dying in a pool of blood. That'd be a nightmare. I mean, I wouldn't want to deal with that, uh, but yeah, man, I guess it could happen. Erie asks, "Do I ever fantasize about rape or non-consensual sex?" No, not really, Erie. Um, that's kind of why do you ask that particular question? Usually, usually my fantasies are like the age gap kind of stuff, but like all of age gap kind of stuff. You know, nothing nefarious or illegal. Like kind of, you know, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not. Somebody says, "Why are you blushing when the topic of rape is brought up?" Because it's an uncomfortable topic. You know. Oh yeah, no, that's a real thrill. Yeah, yeah, that's my. I mean, because it's an uncomfortable topic. You know, what am I supposed to say? Oh yeah, you know. I mean, Erie says, "Just curious." Oh yeah, I'm blushing. I'm getting really excited. No, I mean, you know, like because it's a weird topic. It's a weird question. You know. Somebody says, would you have sex with a grandma? That might be too old. Ah. Honestly, I think ultimately, I kind of like romance that's loving in nature, that's not sleazy, romance that's kind of wholesome. Anybody else kind of like that? I'm not really into deviant perversion. And people that are kind of sleazy and are into like really sketchy, disgusting kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm almost like too much of a goody two shoes. I'm almost too much of like a wholesome kind of llama, and for that kind of stuff. I just don't react to it too well. I just kind of like women that are like my best friend and stuff that's like wholesome and loving. I don't know. I mean, everybody fantasizes about like maybe being with two women, but ultimately, nothing like nothing really like like deviant and disgusting. Somebody says it's a little bit naughty to put up spicy comment content. Yeah, I guess I'm a little bit voyeuristic and exhibitionistic, and I like to show off my body, and that's a little, but also, I also like true love, wholesome stuff, that kind of stuff. Not hurting people, and I don't know, or people hurting me, or like masochism or anything like that. That's not really my cup of tea. I'm into like women who are like my friend and my best friend. Call me old school, call me naive, call me Pollyanna, but that's what I'm into. Somebody says, "Do you love your mother?" Somebody says, "75 man bukkake for your mother isn't very wholesome." That song is mostly a joke. I don't think it would ever happen. Um, you know, it was mostly kind of a joke content, but yeah, I guess I get yeah. So, oh no, it's mostly a joke. Okay, no, I don't really ever expect my mother to really participate in a 75 man bukkake. If she were to do that, it would be pretty. I wouldn't watch it. So he says, that's too many men. She's too old for that. Yeah, okay, 10 man bukkake, 10 man bukkake. And even so, even if it's a 10 man bukkake, I still wouldn't watch it. So he says, what about a 63 man bukkake for your mother? A 7 man bukkake? Yeah, I got to cut my mother some slack. She's going to be in her 70s. Seven man bukkake. Erie asks, how far can you gag on a banana? I don't know, Erie. I'm not really sure. I don't have any bananas in here at the moment, so I can't really show it for you. Pizza Pasta says he showed us once. Maybe I'll show you guys again soon. I usually have bananas. I should have bought some. I was at the supermarket earlier today, but I didn't buy any. It's kind of cold out today. It's like 20 degrees in New York, which is kind of. Somebody says, "Could you handle one?" I'm not. Somebody wants me to gag on one of Pikachu's ears. No, thank you. No, thank you, guys. TB says, Drew and the Impatience. How art thou, TB? How art thou? Somebody says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. La, 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 la. Bane. Mr. Bane. Ho ho. So I don't know. Honestly, it's kind of been a slow day. It's kind of cold. I'm just kind of been resting all day. I just had a nitro cold brew, so I decided to go live because I'm a little caffeinated. Jorday says, "Do you think women should shave?" Yeah, I don't really like. I mean, shave. I mean, their legs and armpits and arms. Yeah, I think so. I know. Like, what are you gonna say? What, you're from the West? You're from America? You know, maybe women should let all their hair grow. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's it's certainly in the United States of America, women are meant to be shaven, and that's what's socially acceptable, and you kind of want your women to look socially acceptable. I don't know. Dave asks, I noticed your art class friend wore a dress in her. No, I think she just came from work that day. Somebody asks, is she sending signals that things are getting more serious? I mean, it's possible. I mean, you never know, but I think she just came from work that day. But maybe she's indicating things are getting more serious. You know. Somebody says we're living in the United States of America. Women gotta shave. Women gotta shave. TV says, "Wow, your art class friend goes to work. She's an independent lady. Oh yeah, oh yeah." Hello, my dear friends. Somebody asks, "How's your father doing?" I think he's doing all right. I had a conversation with him this morning that was pleasant in nature. I asked him, "Oh, I got a breakfast burrito," but and I don't know. It was a good conversation. So he says, "I miss Poppy." Yeah, I could give him a call. I mean, if you want, and I asked if he wants to go to the Broadway Mall in Hicksville and record with me, and we could record because the mall is apparently getting torn down and it's still open for a few days, weeks, months, and maybe we could, do some social media content in there, and maybe even do a Poppy in the Wild Man. So it's possible you might get some of that coming your way if you're interested. I know some people like Poppy on the channel, so. Yeah, so he says, your mole too, man? Peter says his mole is getting demolished this week. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the malls are turning into ghost malls, but yeah. It's changing times. The internet has kind of made a lot of these indoor malls irrelevant. It's kind of a changing times, you know? So he says, it'll be a sad time when all the malls are gone. Malls were definitely a vibe, yeah. It's sad, but it is what it is, right? That's life. That's life. Malls are. All right, guys. Any last questions for me, or not really? I guess I'm gonna. I guess I'm gonna get going here. Erie says, I went to the mall yesterday and I saw a bunch of disabled, low functioning people, and it was cute. Somebody says, have a good Monday. I'm under the impression it's Sunday, Peter. Oh, tomorrow is Monday. Yes, tomorrow is Monday. The Dookie Bus, the Dookie Bus. I'm riding the Dookie Bus to my mental health recovery program. The shit bus. Somebody says, "Do you ever go to outings with your art class?" Yeah, we've gone to round one and we've done karaoke, we've done bowling together, we've done a number of things together. So yes, we have socialized as a group. Somebody says, "Do you ever do art with crayons, Andrew?" As a matter of fact, I do. I do a lot of art with crayons. Crayons are one of my go-to supplies. As a matter of fact, I'll show you. I'll show you my crayons right here. Oh, or maybe I won't. Where? Here they are. I like the Crayola Twistables because you put a lot of pressure on them and they don't break. These are my favorites. Whoo! So he says, you make the Crayolas walk on eggshells. Yeah, when I try to use the standard crayons, they often snap. You can put a lot of pressure on those. You can put a lot of pressure on those. Somebody says, what's your favorite color to color with? That's a good question, I guess. I often use blue and yellow and brown for the hair. I don't really have a favorite color, but those are colors that I often go to. Red I often use too. I even use black sometimes and brown, and I don't know. La la la. Dave asks, whatever happened to Green Bunny? That was art. Well, lately I've been doing art with my art class friend, and I've kind of taken a hiatus from doing art with my mother, and she's usually the creator of the Green Bunny. Obviously, I give her the storyline and the concept, but I could try to do it with my mother. I mean, nothing really. I've just taken a hiatus from it because fortunately, because I guess it's better that I socialize with people about my age. But fortunately, I'm socializing with people my age rather than doing art with my mother. But yeah, no, I did. I think she offered to do it like a day or two ago, and I'm like, I'm kind of arted out because I'm just doing it a lot with my friends. So, yeah, there's nothing really happened with Green Bunny. I'm kind of taking a break. I'm sure one will. I mean, the last one, according to my page, was November 30th. It's January 4th, so it's been over a month. But also, I've been doing it with my friends, so. Somebody says, who do you think would win in a fight, Green Bunny or Bad Bunny? Well, I think I think the narrative about Green Bunny or Otto Greenberg is that he's a weakling and he's pathetic. So I would say Bad Bunny, but that's not exactly saying much. Erie asks, would you be upset if all of your videos and art gets lost, deleted, or stolen? Yeah, I would be very upset. It's my life's work, so don't break in here, steal my art, and torch the house. I'd be very upset. That's why I'm always concerned about a fire or something like that. I would be very upset. Yeah, and that's yeah. I mean, I know my mother's obviously concerned about money and jewelry, and I'm concerned about my artwork and videos. My mother's concerned about like valuable money possessions. I'm concerned about my little man child drawings. I'm like, oh my God, I lost the man child drawing and the green bunny and the fruit family. So he says, what would you save in a fire? Well, I would probably, I mean, obviously the doggies. I mean, you got to try to save the doggies first. But then I would try to get the external hard drives after that. And then if the fire was still blazing, I would try to get my artwork. First you save the doggies and family. Then you go for the external hard drives and artwork. My mother would be going after the jewelry though. The jewelry and the things that are worth money. I'd be going after my man child drawings. No, I would go for my family. I'm assuming my mother and stepfather and so on are able-bodied and could get out of the house themselves. If my mother was trapped and I had to save her, I would go for her before the dogs, obviously. But I'm assuming they would be able to get out of the house themselves. The dogs may not be able to do that. Help! Like, let's say my mother's trapped under her bed. Help me! The house is burning down! And and it was like a decision. I had to choose either my mother or Emma the Yorkie. I mean, I love the Yorkie. I mean, I wouldn't be I would be upset, but I would choose my mother because it's a human being over the Yorkie. You know, um, but yeah, I would obviously be upset. If the situation ever presented itself, I would obviously choose a human being to save over an animal. But we love our Yorkies and our Maltipoo Maya too. So you know. Somebody asks, "What if Emma, your Yorkie, was providing you meals?" Well, I mean, human beings are incapable of doing that. I mean, dogs are incapable of doing that. They don't have human being characteristics. If the dog became more human like Brian Griffin from Family Guy, well, then it would be a human being, not a dog. I mean, like, would you let Brian Griffin from Family Guy burn to death? Because, ultimately, um, he has human traits. Somebody says, have you ever been scared that someone would commit arson in a dwelling you're resting in, buddy? I don't know why anybody would do that, but I mean, obviously that would be frightening. I mean, I would try to get out of the house. I mean, I don't know why anybody would try to burn down our house. But I guess you never know. Things can happen in this world. I mean, I'd obviously try to save my artwork and dogs and family and so on. But somebody says you're talking about a cartoon character, Big Dog, and Brian Griffin is also an alcoholic. Meva says, to be honest, I would leave Brian Griffin. I would leave Brian Griffin to burn to death in a burning house. La 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 la. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why people would start launching fireworks and Molotov cocktails at my house. But in this, somebody says you keep talking about fire. Do you ever play with fire? No, I don't think I even have a lighter in here. But that'd be kind of nobody likes fire. Nobody likes fire. La 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 la. Fire. Didn't they used to say that Beavis and Butthead? Fire, fire. Didn't Beavis used to say that or something like that? I don't know. That's kind of weird. Somebody says you fight fire metaphorically speaking. Meva says, I recall you playing with fire on a live stream. Yeah, I probably have had a lighter in here at some point. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it's still in here. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying I don't have any clue where it is. It got lost somewhere. Somebody says, maybe your mother confiscated it. That's possible, because, she confiscates the knives and hides them from me. So, yeah. So Dave says, I am worried for your mother and stepfather. No, I'm really not. They're safe and sound. And besides, Dale could kick my ass anyway. TB asks, has there ever been a knife incident? No, there hasn't been. But my mother's kind of a little bit overly cautious. I mean, not to say she doesn't have a right to be, but she's a little overly cautious. So I've never gone for a knife or anything like that, but she doesn't want to even have the opportunity there for me to even decide to do that. Somebody says, does your mother go into your apartment when you're at the art class? I don't know. Maybe she's looking for things like I don't know. Dave, what do you think I want to do? Dave's like, do you have any weapons in here? Like what do you think I want to do? Start massacring my parents? No. Like why is Dave creating that narrative? Erie asks, if you had a knife at Thanksgiving 2024, would you have used it? No, because if you use a knife on your parents, you're going to be going to jail for attempted murder at the very least, or the mental hospital for attempted murder at the very least, and you don't really want that, because you're going to be locked away for years. Attempted murder is a crime. Somebody says you're talking about fire a lot. Not really. Stop looking too much into it. I was just talking about like if there was a fire at the house, I would try to save my artwork because, I put a lot of hard work and time into it, and that's really a logical statement. I'd be devastated if the house burned down. I would be devastated. Stop suggesting that I'm gonna go like righteously angry and I'm gonna start dousing the house in gasoline and like why would I do that? I would go to jail for arson and attempted murder. Like why would I do that? It doesn't make any sense. And besides, I don't, like, why would I do that? I want my freedom. I want success. I want independence. I want to live a happy life. Whew. Somebody says perhaps justify. I've never talked about. Somebody says you talk about unaliving your parents. No, I don't. When have I ever said I want to unalive my parents in a video? Never. People are really people are really trying to, uh, get me to admit or get me to sound suspicious here. They're just trying to feed me sabotage. Basically, people are feeding me sabotage here. Just like lighten up. Yeah. I want to douse the house in gasoline and go to prison for arson and attempted murder. What do you want me to say? Like what do you want me to say? Oh yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to be in jail for the remainder of my life. That jail in a psychiatric hospital is a hellhole. Even if I didn't like my parents, even if I discovered my parents betrayed me in the worst possible way, I would try to get independent and try to enjoy my life, and I would give them silence and distance. I would end the relationship, not turn into Chris Benoit. I wouldn't turn into Chris Benoit and you know go postal on my family. I mean, because that's going to lead to jail or something like that. Like you don't want to go to jail. You don't want to go. You know. Sometimes I can fight with my parents and I can think they've betrayed me. Uh, Sometimes I can get delusions about them. Somebody says you don't like your parents though. I don't think they like me. I mean, I feel like they're monsters behind their masks at times. TB says Chris Benoit was a bad egg. Um, TB says, how would you get revenge? The best revenge is no revenge. It's massive success. It's to live life well and be happy, not turning into Chris Benoit and winding up in jail or dead. The best revenge is to enjoy your life and not obsess about a couple in their 70s. Somebody says righteous anger is a dog whistle. I mean, like I said, like whatever. People are trying to get me to say crazy shit. Spoonbill says, "What's going on, Andrew? Not much, not much." Spoonbill. Somebody, Pizza Pasta says, nobody needs to help you say crazy shit, big dog. Well, people certainly suggesting I'm going to commit arson or murder or things like that. I mean, they're certainly, trying to lead me into saying crazy shit. I mean, quite frankly, I mean, they're certainly setting me up for sabotage with these questions and comments. You suggested it, Dave. You suggested that I want to commit arson. I was saying if the house was burning, hypothetically speaking, if there was a fire here, I would save my artwork and external hard drives because, I wouldn't want to lose that because I put a lot of hard work into it. I mean, house fires can happen accidentally, you know? That's all I was saying. Somebody says, do you have a fire extinguisher in here? No, I don't think I do. I should probably get one, though. I'm getting rid of Dave. Dave clearly doesn't like me, and that's. I mean, he's just setting me up just to say crazy shit. Somebody says, "Uh-oh, poor he'll be back under a new name." I don't. I mean, I banned him earlier, and he reemerged. He'll be back under a new name. These people can't leave me alone. Whew. So yeah, let's lighten the mood here. Like, why are we talking about arson and like murders and like let's lighten the mood here. Like why are we talking about negative shit? I'm in a happy, chipper mood today. I'm in a good mood. And Dave is back, and I'm gonna. Yeah, I mean, he's just back under a new name. So he's like, "What's going on, Dave? What's going on?" Pizza Pasta says, "Missed you, buddy." Yeah, I'm banning. I mean, Dave just reappears, and I'm gonna toss him out. I mean, I didn't have a change of heart. He has like 50 alternate accounts that he respawns. He's like it's like one of these video games where you ban somebody or you kill somebody. I don't want to use the word kill, but you kill somebody and then like next round they're back. It's a new account. Somebody says maybe with all these accounts, Dave is the real schizophrenic one. Well, I don't know. I can't diagnose somebody. I'm obviously not a psychiatrist, but it certainly seems like he's got a little bit of an obsession with me. Most people, after you ban them once or twice, which I did, would disappear basically. Dave says, "Friends to the end, buddy." Somebody says, "Boofa Lamictal, Dave. Take some Lamictal and Abilify, Dave. Take some medication yourself." I think you're projecting. Maybe Dave is the one who wants to burn down his house and, go Benoit and his family. I don't know. Maybe Dave is projecting onto me. Take your medication. Take your medication. Dave. Somebody says, "Who is Benoit?" He's a professional wrestler who committed a double murder suicide in 2007. He killed his family and killed himself. So Erie says, "You're lashing out on poor Dave Andrew." So he says, "He's getting righteously angry, Erie, and it's making me concerned." I'm not angry. I'm in a happy, chipper mood. I'm a little caffeinated, but I'm actually not angry. I'm actually pretty happy with my mother, father, everybody. I'm like in a good mood today. I mean, just when people mention the topic of like murder and arson, and I think Erie mentioned rape earlier, like these are not great topics that people are trying to get me to talk about. Like, how am I supposed to, I mean, like these are great. These aren't great topics. So he says, "Good day, everyone." The host, Mr. Handsome Andrew Koloski, thank you. Some people say I look like a young Tom Cruise. Others say I look like Sid Barrett of Pink Floyd. I certainly look handsome nonetheless. Erie asks, "Has anybody been making MRI noises?" Oh, speaking of the MRI, it came back normal, relatively speaking. It didn't they didn't notice anything wrong with the MRI or MRA, which is good because I didn't want brain cancer or an aneurysm. Although it did notice like a little bit, there was something wrong with my sinuses, which might indicate, why I'm not breathing through my nose and I breathe through my mouth. So I'll ask about that at the upcoming appointment. I might have something wrong with my sinuses, which the MRI did notice. But it wasn't like a major life or death issue. Erie says, I hope it's not sinus cancer. No, I don't think it's a life or death issue. Let It Be. We got Let It Be in the house. How art thou, Let It Be? You're one of my biggest buddies. We like Let It Be. She asks, how are you doing, Andrew? How are you doing, handsome? Not bad, Let It Be. Not bad. TB says, is there a crayon up your nose? Perhaps. Perhaps. We got Let It Be in the house. No haircut yet? I'll try to go over Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it's closed tomorrow. Yeah, I know. I got the 1960s psychedelic rocker hair. I got the Mad Professor hair. It's looking pretty atrocious. The problem with the barbershop is every time I go there, there's like 5 or 6 or 7 people ahead of me, which is a little annoying. Hopefully I can go in there Tuesday at like noon and there'll be nobody there. Somebody asks, does your apartment smell like stale breath since you're a mouth breather? It does kind of reek in here. It does kind of have a funky smell. The cleaning ladies will be coming this week too, which is going to be exciting because I'm going to get a nice clean apartment. It needs to be cleaned pretty well. Dave says, go back to the Russian barber. I could do that. Yeah, I could go back to the Russian. I mean, I usually, the wait isn't usually as long with him, which is obviously a big plus, a big feather in his cap. But a big con to him, obviously, is he's a few towns over. The barbershop that I have to wait for is just down the block. Let It Be says, this is a great sweater. Thank you. Yeah, it's one of my favorite sweaters. Thank you. Pizza Pasta asks, is the cleaning lady your mother? No, we hired some cleaning ladies. We hired some cleaning ladies to clean my apartment. Let It Be says, this sweater is a nice color on you. Thank you, Let It Be. La 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 la. La la. It's maroon. It's a maroon. I know some people say, Andrew, you're a maroon. You're an idiot. I know, but I think maroon's a nice color. Maroon's a nice color. I think it's more like Maroon 5. She will be loved. Andrew will be loved by a sexy lady. Not, you're a maroon. You're adult. You're a moron. La, 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 la. La 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 la. Hello, my dear friends. Erie says, I'm glad Dave is back. Things weren't the same with him gone. Somebody says, maybe sing She Will Be Loved. Yeah, maybe I need to be the one giving off the love. Maybe I need to be the lover, not the one receiving the love. I need to be the one giving off the love, not the receiver of the love. Hello, my dear friends. All right, guys. Any last questions here, or should I peace out? TV wants a song. Dogs are only here for love. I don't know. I'm not in the I'm not in the singing mood. Somebody says you sound like Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah, some people say Robin Williams was a good comedian. Anonymous in the house. How are you doing, Anonymous? How are you doing? TB gives a sad face. Oh, I'm sorry, TB. I don't mean to disappoint you. Somebody says, yeah, Robin Williams was a great comedian. He was great as Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah, he was funny. He was funny. Somebody says, Robin Williams committed suicide. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He committed suicide. He was older when he did it, but yeah, he committed suicide. That's for sure. Somebody says, why did he do that? I don't know. Didn't some people say maybe he had some sort of neurological? I mean, it could have been depression. I'm not really sure. I'm not an expert on Robin Williams and his suicide. I don't know the reason why. Maybe he had some sort of dementia, or I just don't know. Obviously, somebody says, he was such a happy, good person. It's really sad he committed suicide. Of course, yeah, suicide's sad. I mean, it's sad enough when people die of natural causes at an old age. Obviously, suicide is when somebody takes their life, that's sad. Hello, my dear friends. It is I. I got to trim my hair. I got to look like one of these handsome late night talk show hosts. Let It Be asks, what do you think about Venezuela? Are we going to war with Venezuela? What's going on with Venezuela? I saw something like that on the news today at the gym. Obviously, war is never good. War is bad, and it makes me sad. Like war is not good. Sadly, sometimes it's a necessary evil and unavoidable. Obviously, if they can avoid war, it might be good to do that. Venezuela. It's not really too controversial of a take, but that's my take here. Whew. Somebody says it's prearranged with Trump and Maduro. It's a scam, and Trump was in on it. I don't really know, guys. I'm not really following it too closely, but Let It Be and others seem like they are. Let it. Horn Dog says that's enough for today, Big Dog. I think you've done enough. All right, guys. I think that about covers it. And adios, my amigos and amigas. Peace out. Thanks for watching. And I'll talk to you all again later. That is what it is.